Hopefully y'all can see me okay. What's up, DP Rocker, my musical brother? What's up, Insane? How are y'all doing tonight? Can y'all hear me all right? Hopefully you can hear me okay. Y'all see, y'all know I always tell y'all about how much I love gum. And I'm going to do my best not to pop tonight. Won't that be something? Loud and clear. Thank you so much, Insane. All right, y'all. It was in the one of the lives I had done recently, and I believe that Stray Godzilla. He asked a question. This gum good, y'all. And his question was, what about catastrophizing on others? I don't know if any of you remember when I discussed catastrophizing and just gave y'all the definition of what it looks like to catastrophize. In its simplest terms, it means that we expect the worst possible outcome, the worst possible scenario, if you will. The problem is typically we don't have the proof. Now, anybody ever done that where it's like a situation happens and you're constantly expecting the worst thing to happen and you fool yourself into thinking that you are somehow setting yourself up for the worst case scenario? You're preparing. Hi, NBA D Nice. So happy to see you. Look at y'all. As my brother would say, y'all got to shine over here, all these moderators. People are going to start joking me. They're going to be like, yeah, you go to her page, there's all these moderators. I don't care. But, okay, Insane said, yeah, I do it all the time. Insane, that's prison life. Now, my question, and like I've always said, it's up to you and whether or not you want to answer. You don't have to answer. But my question would be, good brother, is did it always happen the way you thought it was going to happen? Honestly. You know? Because I'm not saying it doesn't negate that at times when we catastrophize that it does play out the way we thought it was, right? Which only furthers our belief into that catastrophizing. Okay, I like that. No, but it keeps me on my toes. Insane. I've not only listened to your lives, I've actually participated and come up on your panel. I have a gift of obviously observation. And what I observe in you is that you are intelligent. You are. You really, really are. So then my question would be, don't answer too soon. Are you not capable of being aware and alert? Because that is what it means to say, I'm keeping, staying on my toes, right? You're welcome, but I only speak what is true. Hey, Cano Loco, what's up? I always appreciate him. He goes on, and y'all definitely subscribe because he does a lot of gaming. Going back up even to DP Rocker. DP Rocker knows I love music. I don't know if he's still in here or not, but y'all go check his page out because he has some hits that he be dropping. I really enjoy that. And Cano Loco, I've often told him that even on his games where he's just shooting and doing all of these things, I'm like, it's so relaxing for me. But back to you, Insane. Now, okay, what did Insane say? I was taught to outthink everybody and stay 19 steps ahead. Insane, who taught you that? You don't have to answer. You can actually come back and say, I prefer not to answer. And I'm good with that. That's your right. So if you don't want to answer, that's good as well. The reason I ask that, my mother in the streets, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Hi, my beautiful mommy. You know, I often say she's my number one fan. That DP Rocker. I often say that my mom is my number one fan, and I don't say it as cliche or, oh, that's so sweet, hearts and all of that. I genuinely mean that. Yeah. When I wasn't so good to self or made the best decisions, she still was there to support, and I appreciate you. I'll continue to thank you publicly and privately. You already know, mommy. All right, so Insane says his mother and the streets. Okay. So we are taught. Remember, we always use that verbiage, conditioned, right? Insane's mom helped him become conditioned to, hey, let me stay alert. Let me stay on my toes. Shout out to my beautiful sis, Sugar Free, who says staying 10 toes down, right? But I want to be 19 steps ahead is the verbiage Insane used. My question, Insane, what's up, autism boy? So nice to see you. The verbiage my brother used, my question for you, Insane. And I ask these questions for a reason, y'all. What's up, Eric O? So happy to see y'all in here, family. Love seeing y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Is it actually possible, truthfully speaking, realistically speaking, to always stay 19 steps ahead? Just listen to me. And think about it before we answer so quick, because all of you can answer that question. Is it truly possible? And then I'm going to tell you what happens scientifically. But I want to hear, is it really possible for us to stay 19 steps ahead? It's no right or wrong answer. I just want to hear, some of your thoughts. That's it. DP Rocket said, hell yes. Okay. So it's always possible to stay 19 steps ahead. That's called chess. Okay. Okay. You're giving me one situation, right? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Insane says yes, but it's hard. You have to anticipate people's actions, then go from there. Bam. And how in the hell can we anticipate someone's actions? Because then what happens is, what if our anticipation doesn't come to be? Our expectation, all that we have prepared for, does not ever come to pass, if you will. Erico says, seems like that has to be your personality by studying human nature. Studying, I think, is that what you meant, Insane, by studying human nature? I think that's what you meant. Okay, got you. I'm with you. I'm going to push back gently. Because truly, if we were always 19 steps ahead, we would have already seen the situations and the BS and the backstabbing or shystiness or swindling, if you will, in others. If we were always 19 steps ahead, a lot of us wouldn't even have been in situations that we were in. Because if those situations were so comfortable and felt so good, we wouldn't sit here and say, damn, how did I see that coming? Just think about it. What's up, Shelton? What's up, family? What's up, Daryl? So happy to see you, family. Y'all already know something is smiling, and it's definitely my heart right now. Not just my, smile on my face. Insane says, see the bad in all people until you show me something else. Ah. Now, I'm only going to ask this question, Insane, because, like I said, a lot of you, I don't know you personally, but what I do know is I don't think you give yourself much credit for how intelligent you really are. But stay with me. Stay with me. I see it. What's up, D-Man Jr.? So happy to see you, family. Now, the philosopher in me then asks, what determines what is bad and what is good? It's something that we have shaped it by. It's some sort of standard or expectation that we have that has now shaped this ideology of what is good and what is bad. That's how we determine what is good for us and what is bad for us. Because let's be honest, what may be good for one may not be good for another. I'm not going to go down that rabbit's hole because that is, philosophy is a rabbit's hole. You can constantly keep questioning. I only say this, just coming from a different perspective. Scientifically, what do y'all think takes place in the body? Because all of you are highly intelligent. I definitely don't just read your comments aloud. I truly, reflect on them. What do you think may be possibly happening in the body when we are? What's up, Drew Titan? Oh, my heart's smiling all over again. What's up, bro? So happy to see you. Yes, autism boy. That is the definition of catastrophizing. You said that beautifully. What do we think happens in the body? Those things matter. It's a book out that I often recommend to those that I provide psychotherapy to, and it's called The Body Keeps the Score. The body keeps the score. The best way to provide an example of that, you ever become anxious, agitated, irritable, angry, sad, whatever, I would say it would be more of intense emotion that you are feeling. Yeah, that fight or flight. Do we not feel it in our bodies before we even act? Erico said something interesting. That means what you are doing. Yeah, D-Man. You about to see where I'm going with this, y'all. Y'all are doing amazing work. And it makes me smile so much. Y'all don't know. I work today, right? My schedule's a little different than most, but this came to me. And I also reflected that I wanted to answer Stray Godzilla's question, right? But anywho, so the body takes a lot of stress, like D Man Jr. said, fight or flight. One thing y'all have heard me talk about is the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So when we are anticipating something to come, we are actually acting in anticipated anxiety. So even though on your face, like take a picture, hey, 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 right? You may look like, okay, I'm good. What's happening on the inside is all jacked up, y'all. Y'all with me? You ever felt sadness but never shed a tear? You ever felt scared but never like fled or ran? You almost was frozen? Okay, insane. Yep, all the time. Let's see what we got. D Man says, I try to keep myself calm. Daryl says, so we're creating a stress that may not be as bad. Damn right. Yeah. Because, like I was asking Insane, either we are alert of our surroundings and we are aware of our surroundings, or we're not. I can be alert, aware, observing what's maybe around me. What's up, Dirt Gang boss? So happy to see you. And I don't have to allow it to get to anticipation. That's all I'm saying. I don't think I can show emotion no more because it's a sign of weakness. Ah, what's up, BVO? BVO, you're going to have to email me because I was like, dang, I ain't heard from the good brother. But I was actually kind of happy too that you was really focusing on boxing because I had so much going on. I was tired from work, things like that. So, but don't think I can show emotion anymore because it's a sign of weakness. Insane. I'm actually going to come back to that if you're cool with that. You can let me know. Like I said, this is a safe space. If you don't want to talk about something, you just say, no, I don't feel like talking about that. And I'm good with that as well, y'all. Daryl said something. All of you have said it. We create a stress. Life often can strip us of the control that we have. The God given, whoever your higher power, whatever, whomever it is, has given to you. Life can often strip us of that. And we forget that, okay, so like when I say it aloud, listen to me. I'm preparing myself for the worst. The worst doesn't come to pass. But I have taken my body through an entire war. I have taken the internalized emotions and feelings. We have gone to war, y'all, and won't no war in sight. Both things can be true. We talk about that in DBT, meaning that I can be aware and not be on edge. I can be alert and not be drowning on the inside in anxiety. Just a different way to look at it, y'all. Now, what Stray Godzilla asked, now that we've broken down catastrophizing, and y'all did amazing work with that, let me tell you, for real. What would it look like to catastrophize on others? I actually go back to what Insane was saying. Expecting the worst out of someone others, even if it doesn't present that way. Daryl says yes. So basically, you already beat yourself down before the actual fight. You went into the fight with a disadvantage created by yourself. That part. That part. You know, I've told a story. I don't know how many of y'all have been here or were on that live or whatever video, whatever it was. And I told that story of how often I will work with individuals. And when I'm providing counseling, psychotherapy, whatever one wants to call it, they'll look at me and they'll say, I could have just Googled this. Well, someone like me, I'm going to say, well, why didn't you? If it was so simple for you to find something that is so obvious, why was it so hidden for yourself? Yeah, just it's a different way to look at it. That's beautifully said, Daryl. Daryl said had to relate to boxing a little. That part, yeah. Whatever it means. How many times do I say that? I want this space that has been created for us, that I was led to create for all of you, to be able to allow you to gain so much insight and understanding that you can apply it in your own way. That's what matters, because then I know that what's heard won't be unheard. Once you hear it, you're not going to unhear it, if that makes sense. What's up, Jonathan? So happy to see you, family. Okay, y'all got to give me a moment because, I told y'all I'm going to have a whole live full of moderators. Oh, gosh, that is hilarious. All right. So we already got it. Stray Godzilla, I hope when you do go back and watch this video, just understanding catastrophizing and what it looks like will allow you a deeper understanding in what it looks like to catastrophize on others, right? It's all about what is true and what isn't true. It's all about how much factual information do we have to back up this worst case scenario. A lot of times we don't. And even if you do have a situation that played out that way, it doesn't always mean it's going to play out that way. I can always come back and rebuttal that stance, because to say always, anybody in here remember what I say about thinking with always and making everything a blanketed statement? What's up, Mana Mansa Musa? What's up, family? So happy to see you. Really, Daryl? I'm glad you're enjoying it, though. I really am. I have work in the morning. I don't know if some of you have work in the morning, but wherever you may be. But yeah, just really think about it, right? All right. Now, I didn't see anything else that was brought up, but I did see where Insane said something here. Hold on, y'all. I don't want to miss it. Where did I see it at? I just saw what Eric O had said. Eric O said, I'd rather be wrong and alive about a bad feeling than right and hurt or, unalived, right? I'm hearing you. In some situations, Whatever your spiritual belief system, religious belief systems are, it may cause for some level of discernment, right? But it doesn't always mean everything is always. Always thinking is a cognitive distortion. It means we think in black or white. We have no gray area. It means we are quite rigid in our thinking. All right. I hear you, Erico. It was Insane that said something. He said, I don't really show emotion. It's a sign of weakness. Anybody in here ever felt that way? You don't have to share. I'm looking, and other than my mommy, there are all black men in here. All men in here. Beautiful kings is what we have in here, y'all. All right, let's see. Mina Maximus, thank you. And you put a big smile on my face with that good energy. I'm glad. I'm glad. Daryl says, and isn't that just self-preservation? At the end of the day, the body and mind do what it does for their well-being. Sometimes, and sometimes it's out of conditioning. Remember that book I spoke about that I give to people? Yes, you are. And that's one end of it, Eric. Like I said, let me get back to Daryl real quick. Remember that book, The Body Keeps the Score? Eric says you're supposed to preserve yourself. I'm one that constantly pushes self-preservation in all aspects. And I don't walk around catastrophizing because I know what it creates in my body. It places me in a fight, flight, freeze mode when there is no danger around me. It places me in a space where, whether you want to admit it or not, you're actually thinking more with the emotional mind than a wise mind. Meaning that part of me can say, okay, I really need to alert. I really need to be alert. I really need to be in a situation where I'm aware of all of my surroundings. And then the other part of me may be like, okay, but I'm seeing my surroundings, and right now it is nothing that is going on. That's wise mind, meaning that both can be true. I can operate in both. I can be alert. I can be aware, and it doesn't mean I have to be nervous on the inside, because that's really what's happening. It's anxiety invoking. Let's go back. Erico says, Queen Cam, have you ever been seriously injured? You would have to elaborate on that, because there can be so many different definitions and what it looks like for you to be seriously injured, if you don't mind. Ask because learned behaviors make up survival instincts. Yes, that's called trauma, my brother. That's trauma. Yeah. We have a distressing event situation. And even when what's going on around us may not be that same situation, our body, mind, emotions will work as if it were. One learns to preserve self through trauma sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I work with a lot of individuals that have PTSD. That's a good question, though. Thank you, Eric. Daryl says fight flight is a very stressful mode to be in. People brag about it, but I don't like being in that situation. No. And it's because you're actually distorting, it's distorted thinking. You're operating more out of your emotional side of your brain than a wise mind. Now, if, like I said before, if you are just being careful, aware, alert, and recognizing that this isn't the same situation. So I don't need to be standing there waiting for the worst case possible scenario to happen. And truly, let's be for real, for real. How many situations can you even control if it's really the worst case? I mean, really. It's some stuff that we have no control over. Insane says, I read the 48 Laws of Power every day. It's my Bible. And I feel like it keeps me safe, mind, body, and soul. And that's beautiful, Insane. You know, I'm all for what is really going to work for you. I'm all for that. You know, if it works for you, hey, you know. What's up, Freedom's March? Awesome debating earlier. Legacy promotions, you know, cashing out, not crashing out. We are everywhere. They are not. Daryl says, similar to breaking your leg and walking with a limp for the rest of your life, I think the mind experiences breaks as well. And some of them leave us with mental limps. Beautifully said. But it takes insight to see that, Daryl. What's up, beautiful queen sis, Tay Tay? Hey, Tay Tay. So happy to see you. You always have such great energy, and you're so genuine and kind. I really appreciate you. I really do. I'm going to read that again, Daryl. Similar to breaking your leg and walking with a limp for the rest of your life, I think the mind experiences breaks as well, and some of them leave us with mental limps. Mhm. And like I've said, you know, if something works for you, hey, I'm not going to tell you. I don't give advice. I just try to encourage you to see a different perspective. That's all. That's it. And I also respect that some people are like, NO to therapy, NO to psychotherapy. You know, it's like, nope, I don't do no Western philosophy. I don't have time for that, right? I respect that. Now, the philosopher in me will come back and say, well, how many things can we point out that you currently do that is of Western civilization? Right? Just a different way to look at it. From experience, you know, okay, you're talking to each other. That's true, y'all. DP Rocker, music is my therapy. I listen to it every day. Yeah. But it's important that we know those things, right? Did you always know? Did you always have the verbiage that music is my therapy? Life happens. And slowly, the hope is that we all learn that which is going to ground us and provide us with my favorite word, balance. If you're ever too far over here or too far over there, something is off kilter, whether we admit it or not. I just got finished listening to how I can just kill a man by because I don't like this dude I work with. All right, y'all. If anybody's there, you know, with DP Rockin', you know, maybe take him another, you know, some mixtapes or something that got some other music on there. I'm just messing with y'all. I'm hearing you. And I think we joked about that like last year. And I would tell you how certain music I play on the radio, I will drive faster. Anybody ever done that? Okay, nothing's wrong with that autism boy. I love it. I love music. I play the piano for anybody that doesn't know. So I love music. Like when I say I love music, all music. Yes. I mean, certain stuff I'm listening to, I'll just be like, and I'm just all calm. But once certain stuff come on, all of a sudden I don't even have both hands on the wheels. I've changed my entire stance. I'm driving with one hand. I'm all leaned back, and that foot is just heavy, y'all. Music is so powerful in so many ways. Yes, Tay Tay. What you said, Lil Jon songs, Daryl? Yes, insane. I remember we were talking about R&B on your channel that time. We got Tay Tay. Tay Tay said, yeah, talking MMA on my channel is sort of a release therapy for me as well. I love that. Yes, DP Rockin'. Sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, I think DP Rock and I can go on for several minutes of music. Like if we were to keep going, I think we would just keep dropping lyrics until one of us just stops. Oh man. I haven't forgot what you said, insane. You know, I definitely am hopeful that maybe we can have that conversation in the future because even if no one admits it, maybe someone that does listen to that video whenever I do that about the way we equate emotions to weakness. You don't have to answer because it's always an event that happened prior to. It was an antecedent, if you will, that happened prior to where we begin to equate these emotions to weakness. Because even the individual that thinks they don't show emotions, they do. It's just they may not see it that way. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be an interesting conversation. Daryl's, what? My man says music is full of energy. Yes, vibrations. And it's very, very, very spiritual too. I agree. I agree. Daryl says, I think a Lil Jon song is responsible for my last speeding ticket. I'm serious though. DP Rock, I could pull it on my lady copy. And DP Rock, I actually believe you. I'm not even questioning that that song comes to your mind, even in such a serious, scenario situation. Y'all, that's it. If y'all don't have anything else, it's 8:23 my time. And I do have to get up early in the morning. What did you think of when I said that, DP Rocker? I just want to see. I just want to see where his mind's gonna go. If he's gonna go to a song. Oh, I appreciate you, Erico. And I love that y'all just feel safe enough to even push back if it's something you don't agree with. Yours went to As We Lay. Okay. 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 Now, that's not where my mind went to, but I'm going to save that for another day. I appreciate each of you. You all bring such great conversation. Yes, DP Rocker, you're so funny. I'm hearing you, Tay Tay. And sometimes crying is a good thing. It can be such a release. Only you know what it does for you. I can't say, you know. But all of you contribute so much. What's up, Joseph Townsend? So happy to see you. Insane Cena, you asking questions. Y'all, Insane trying to keep me on here. Y'all like how I'm snitching, right? I'm snitching on you, Insane. Insane's trying to keep me here, and he know I got to get up early. Maybe he didn't hear it. I'm just messing with you, family. Autism boy says, I cry whenever I feel sad. Mm-hmm. DP Rocker, yes, I'm gonna have to cry tonight for sure. My anger almost got me. Mm. Yeah, we know what song you were listening to earlier. Mata Mansa Musa, that is where my mind went to. You got it. Yeah, do that. Do that. Definitely. Let me know. I got it right here. Um, do that. But that is, yep, Gap Band. Early in the morning. Y'all, Insane. I'm definitely gonna do. We're gonna have a live where we can talk like that. One day I'm gonna have like a StreamYard. Isn't that what y'all call it? I think it's StreamYard. And we're gonna have y'all can come up here and we can chat it up. I would love it. I would love it because I really enjoy you all. The underrated darkness. Blessings to you. Blessings to you, fam. All right. I gotta get up in the morning. And I hope that all of you do have a wonderful night. DP Rocker, stop dropping songs. Tay Tay, I'm so happy. That makes my heart smile, sis. It really does. D Man said, that's okay. That is what it is. Stream y'all. Okay. Y'all gonna see it. One day I'm gonna have that, right? Wouldn't that be something? Hey, okay. Y'all just see how energy is out here in real time. This just happened. Yeah. All right, y'all. Blessings always. I'll see y'all in these YouTube streets. Be gentle with yourselves, for we are all doing life. Anybody want to finish it? We are all doing life for what, y'all? For the very first what, y'all? Talk to me. Come on, I know somebody know. I say it every joint. For the very first time, like that. Like that. Blessings always. See you soon.